Well, hello once again, one and all. Again, here for the My Team series for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and on the calendar, out of all the circuits, probably my least favourite one to drive in terms of just the circuit as a whole. I like driving, but I hate driving it. It's just a circuit that doesn't gel well with me. It's just one that I've never really found confidence at, never really found any front end, never found any front grip really, just haven't really found any confidence whatsoever. Nonetheless, it says we can do some more research here, but obviously we're not going to. We want to save these R&D points in case there's a regulation change, because if we're prepared for the regulation change, we can then prepare for the next season better as well, because then we can focus on upgrades later on. But the Hungarian Grand Prix, not too far away at all. And we are here today to race. There's R&D chart. We are back behind again, Racing Bulls and Williams. Alpine and Haas keep closing that gap to Red Bull as well. You can just see that gap here. Red Bull kind of slumping a bit. You see Alpine and Haas just building that gap up a bit. Mercedes extending their margin again, heading into the Hungarian Grand Prix. We're selecting the harder tyre allocation, and now that we've done some hard work with Gabriele Mini, we're now going to go back to controlling the Frenchman of Victor Martin to try and get now Victor Martin in the back of a rhythm before we head into the summer break. But let's go to qualifying.
No pit stops, no strategy, it's all about the pace today. Qualifying day here at the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
So on our first run here in Q1, Laura went live, and then Charles Leclerc, just like the issue that was in real life, just impeding, just cars not getting out of the way at all. Nonetheless, we continued with the lap because we kind of be just wasting the tyres a bit if we didn't, as we make our way around the final corner and towards the line. Blattery to use all of the line, and we are 23rd. Quite a way off, but on our second run we do go on the same tyres. We were like 2, maybe 3 tenths up, but then we tapped the grass and we're then struggling for the grip, and we are basically done and dusted. Nonetheless, we are going to peel into the pit lane. It would have been nice to improve on that time, because then we would have had a proper reference on the old to new tyres. But anyway, we've got one lap to make it through here in Q1, and on the run down towards turn number 1, we really have to give it our all here, because the car just haven't found any confidence with it. No front grip, struggling for rear traction. Obviously it looks fine here in qualifying, but in terms of like on different compacts, I just struggled so much. Already 2.5 tenths up through turn number 2, and to make our way flat through turn number 3 on the rundown towards turn number 4, over 2.5 tenths of a second. Through turn 4 we go, chuck it over the curb. Through turn 5, no impeding on this occasion. Look how much the time skyrockets up a little bit wider before we go towards the Buda, I believe it's the Buda and Pest chicane. Then we make our way through towards turn number 8, then through turn number 9, where we make our way towards the flat left-hander of turn number 10, before then turn 11, chuck it in and instantly apply the battery as soon as you can before you make your way towards center corner through turn number 12, and then I believe this is Schumacher corner. I might be getting that completely wrong. So you apply the power through turn 13, and the final corner, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. Up and around the final corner we go, once again back to the line. A 6th, 7th, 10th improvement here over the line. Is it good enough to make it through? As we wait for what it will say, as the time will come up and the board will come up, and it's P18. Disappointing, really, with that improvement. And, well, we're out in Q1. Lewis Hamilton tops it from Alexander Albon, and then it is Charles Leclerc for Ferrari. Then it's Verstappen, Kimi Antonelli in 5th, from Hadjar, Piastri, Colapinto putting a great lap in for Alpine in P8. Then it's George Russell in 9th for Mercedes, from Gasly to Norris, Lindblad, Sainz, Bortoletto, Valtteri Bottas, Oliver Bearman, Fernando Alonso. In the 7th to forward the first hurdle, Alonso making it through fares, is ourselves in 18th, Stroll, then Liam Lawson, Esteban Ocon, Sergio Perez, Nico Hulkenberg, and Gabriele Mini will round off the grid. So Hungary, one of the hardest circuits for overtaking. It's like Monaco is out the walls. Let's go to the grid for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Welcome to Budapest once again for another round of Formula One action. Historically, a good race for first-time victories, with Button, Hill, Alonso and Heikki Kovalainen all reaching the top step of the podium for the very first time right here. Located 12 miles northeast of the Hungarian capital Budapest, the 14 corners of the Hungaroring are steeped in history and prestige. Overtaking's always been difficult on this technical 2.7-mile track, but the last few years in particular have turned up some exceptional races. So let's hope we're in for another one here today. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Antonelli, Verstappen, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Sainz, Hadjar, Albon, Gasly, and Franco Colapinto, Norris, Bortoletto, Arvid Lindblad, and Alonso, Piastri, Behrman, Valtteri Bottas, and Victor Martins, Stroll, Lawson, Ocon, Perez, Hülkenberg, and Gabriele Mini rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And joining me in the commentary box today with the best view on what is about to unfold and some strong views on the action we're about to see, Naomi Schiff. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
Well, here we head on to the formation lap here, starting all the way down in P18. Massive penalties. Lando Norris down to 11th after I can only presume either qualifying first or 6th. Either got a 5-place grid pen or a 10-place grid penalty. There's Oscar Piastri as well, who's dropped down to 15th position with his grid penalty as well. And McLaren, who lead the constructors, have chosen Hungary. They've chosen Budapest, of all places here, to take their grid drops. I would have waited to maybe Zandvoort or even Monza, where you can overtake so much easier in Monza, but nonetheless, we'll go to the race. 3, 4, and 5. Red lights on in Budapest. And we will go racing because the waiting is over. And towards turn 1 we go. We get a good start already getting past Stroll. Already getting past Bottas, sorry. Towards turn 1 we go. Side by side no more. Piastri, look at that unshort way to go. I was going on the inside no matter what. Hug the inside apex. And we go from 18th on the grid to P12. But we're not done yet. Towards turn number 2 we go inside of Bortoletto, inside of Gasly, scything on through and up into the top 10 already. But then we go through turn number 2 towards turn 3 towards turn 4, and we're going to blitz on by Carlos Sainz. And look at that, top 9 already, and the perfect start. Probably this might be the only overtakes we make in this race, so we have to make it crucial here because how much less speed we have. Towards the chicane we go. Colapinto moving on the brake, and we dive on the inside line, leaving the space on the exit, and we get through into 8th position. A replay of the race start. Mercedes on pole, Leclerc alongside him, and to turn number 1 we will go. Russell with not the greatest launch there, but on the rundown in the second phase, it's Charles Leclerc who seems to be under pressure here. Max Verstappen as well, putting under pressure the Ferraris, the two Ferraris pinching Kimi Antonelli as side by side they run. Both Ferraris, they should get this position done as Antonelli will go brave on the brakes and get past the pair of the Scuderia rear Ferraris. Further behind the two Red Bulls as well. It's Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, and Red Bull, sorry. And to make our way towards turn 4, Verstappen and Hadjar, neither giving an inch off the road, goes Verstappen and makes contact with Isaac Hadjar. A very unsafe region as Hadjar will continue to fight Verstappen on the run down towards the chicane. Hadjar goes around the outside of his teammate, and the 4-time world champion losing to positions. Verstappen down to P7 here and just struggling. He's lost another place to Albon there, you can see up ahead. Now we are struggling as well. We are just struggling for so much pace here in Budapest. If we have to go defensive to the inside line. Wheel to wheel, we're going to run with Carlos Sainz here. And something I learned over the course of this race, it is quite easy to defend them if you don't mess up the braking, of course, through turn 1 into turn 2. We always have more battery through the opening corner exit, and we are able to hold on to 8th position in this race. Once again, it's going to be a rinse and repeat here. Oscar Piastri as well, looking on the inside of Carlos Sainz. Wheel to wheel we run. Piastri on the inside of Sainz, side by side. Behind, I have a little bit of a snap here. Piastri tries to make a move on the outside of us, but we slap that door shut, and then Carlos Sainz will keep challenging on the inside line, but Piastri will make the move, and Piastri will get up into 9th position in the Hungarian Grand Prix here. Now we are going to be put under pressure again on the rundown towards turn number 1. Piastri versus ourselves. Both of us fighting for separate positions in the Constructors' Championship. Piastri fighting for both championships here. We go deep on the brakes. Can't get the car stopped here and apply the power here. Piastri seemingly has more battery for once. We're going to go then on the inside line, side by side with the Australian driver. Piastri will continue to fight this one all the way around the outside. And we make our way on the rundown to turn number 4. And that's the first proper attack from Piastri we've had to fully defend off here in Budapest. And then, once again, round the final corner and towards turn 1, we will run once again, heading on to lap number 13. It's still a Mercedes 1-2 from both Ferraris and Hadjar as well, as Verstappen's just struggling for so much pace here on the rundown towards turn number 1, side by side. We will run with Piastri, but again, messing up the braking, and Piastri easily gets the move done here. Then on the rundown towards turn number 2, we have the overspeed. Piastri brakes so early, and we fight it around the outside. Minor contact between the pair of us here, but Piastri gets the move done, and Piastri gets up finally into 8th place. I'm trying to burn the battery, try and get alongside, but just haven't got enough speed in general here. Mess up turn 4 as well, and Piastri through into 8th position here in the Hungarian Grand Prix. And you saw how much we're struggling. We're 15 seconds behind Verstappen here, so struggling as a whole here in Hungary here. And we're going defensive towards turn number 2 again. Very, very deep on the brakes. There's yellow flags are behind. Lindblad has spun the car. Side by side we run. Minor contact between ourselves and Carlos Sainz on the run down to turn number 4. Piastri clear, Sainz not able to be clear of us here, but in towards turn number 12. Lap 15 here, the pit window well and truly open here. You can book your box from around lap 13 onwards here to make your one stop properly work, and we are going to choose to come into the pits this lap with a late call through the pit entry. We'll go around the final corner, the tighter line here, and we apply the power. Signs on the hard tyres, we will undercut him, but he will have the advantage towards the latter stages of this Grand Prix. We now trundle down the pit lane at 79 kilometers an hour. The hard tyres will be waiting. It says there the pit window's open, but obviously we was factoring in the lap 12 and onwards as well. Then we come into our pit box here, and hopefully a good stop as we apply the power. And yeah, once again, a good stop from the crew, and we are able to hold on to track position ahead of Perez at least. We've got work to do though ahead of us. Ocon and Bortoletto will be a roadblock, I am sure, when we do catch up to the rear of them here in Budapest as we head towards turn number 2. We have already caught up to them within a matter of laps here. Ocon and Bortoletto slight rear slide, applying the power on the exit of 2. Flat through turn 3 we go. On the run down towards turn number 4, we are gaining on Ocon, looking to the inside line, but on this occasion not close enough. We've got so much more grip though. We're going to try and sive on the outside line, but then the grip will not offer to us on the outside line. Minor contact between right side of the front wing and Ocon as we go into the chicane. I think of a dive bomb move, but it's so risky to even go side by side normally. You know, you can do the dive bomb, it wouldn't be worth the risk considering what's on stake here for our constructors fight. In towards turn number 10 and turn number 11 we go, thinking against using our boost, trying to close the Ocon so much, but towards turn 12 this is going to be our first proper opportunity here. Ocon goes squeezing us to the inside line. We go under braking through turn 12, and we make a brilliant move into 12th position in this Hungarian Grand Prix. But it's not going to be done yet. We have to now get Gabriel Bortoletto here. Around the final corner we go. Piastri just showing the pace he had in store, showing that he was being held up by us. So he set the fastest lap in this race. Alex Albon, by the way, who started on the medium compound tyre, is still going. Albon is doing a questionable strategy, I think it is safe to say. I think he started on the No, it's not on the hards, I think. I actually have no idea, to be really honest with you, but his pace seems to be quite slow here. Anyway, we're continuing to fight. Continuing to scrap Bortoletto on the run down to turn number 4. I have to lift out it. If I didn't lift out of it, I'm running into the back of the Brazilian driver. We go through turn 4 towards turn 5 again. I'm going to try and look for the same move I tried to do on Ocon, but again, just a grip. And the car doesn't offer enough grip in towards the chicane. We go under brake for the chicane again, just trying to send Gabby offline here. But then again, he's defending really well. On the 2-stop is the Audi man through turn 8 and turn 9 towards turn number 10 and turn number 11. We have to make this move on Bortoletto again, but how will he defend? Look, I was just shoving him through the corners here and apply the power towards turn 12. He's got the inside line. We go for maybe the outside line to try and switch back in towards turn 13, but once again, just not close enough here to make this move, to try and take different lines to get the dirty air off of the front wing to ensure we can get some good traction. Now, around the final corner, we will run. And taking the Hamilton line, taking the inside line, I felt a lot more comfortable doing that tight inside line. But on the rundown towards turn number 1, we will be gaining all the while, gaining and gaining and gaining in the slipstream. Going late on the inside. A little bit of a correction as the rear wanted to snap out. Bortoletto does a lovely switchback. But on the rundown towards turn number 2, Bortoletto runs out of battery. And we are able to get that position into the top 9 here in Budapest. As we skip on later on in the race as well, you will notice we are able to gap Bortoletto. We are up into 8 because both Williams are pit. We've undercut both Williams here. If we go through turn number 1 here, just going slightly defensive on the from the offense of Gasly. Obviously, Gasly didn't really do much of an attack on that occasion, but nonetheless, we will make our way through turn 2. And this is now our fight with Gasly and Norris, and probably the Williams soon once they do catch up to us in this race. On the round to turn number 4, we can now look to turn number 1 with the fight for P4 in this Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc will be gaining all the while, going to the inside line side by side between the Red Bull and the Ferrari. Hadjar has the outside line, but as they apply the traction, Hadjar will actually not give this one up. Hadjar will have the battery to try and continue to fight this one, go late on the brakes, but Charles Leclerc will fight this one all the way around the outside to the inside at turn 3. Was a phenomenal move by the Scarlet Ferrari driver. But now back to our fight. This is for P8. This is for 4 crucial points in the Constructors' World Championship here. On the run to turn number 1, we go defensive to the inside line. Side by side we will go. Always at the Frenchman. French v French here. And apply the power on the exit of turn 1 towards turn number 2. Not close enough is Gasly to make a move on this occasion. So we will be nicely clear in towards turn 3 and turn 4 with another lap to hold on to P8. And we've been defending so well every lap we have been defending here. I haven't shown you every lap, obviously it would get too long. Here's something I'm going to show you. Antonelli and Russell. This could be crucial come at the end of the season for the context of the World Drivers' Championship and the Constructors. They will both be getting maximum points, but Antonelli will scythe all the way around the outside if he can get the traction. And Kimi Antonelli, the Italian wonder kid, gets a phenomenal move done on George Russell here. And now back to our fight again with Gasly. Carlos Sainz has joined this picture. He's actually got ahead of the championship leader now. And towards turn 1 we go. We go defensive to the inside line. Side by side, the 2 Frenchmen will run once again. We go very late on the brakes. Able very nicely get it stopped to the apex. And this occasion, once again, we will be able to hold on to this position for 8th in the Grand Prix here in Budapest. It's just crucial as the lap ticks on. As the laps tick on, we should ensure we have got hold. And we ensure we have got a grip of this Grand Prix in for these crucial points. Side by side we go once again. There's a lot more later on the brakes. The front micro lock as we apply the power on the exit of turn number 1 on the rundown towards turn number 2. Gasly again just doesn't have the battery, and we are able to hold on once again to this position here in 8th position. Towards turn 1 we go once again on lap 32 of 35. Side by side we're going to run again with Gasly. Once again we're going to make it to the apex. I thought it was going to go deep there again, was late braking, but we are able to get it stopped on the rundown now towards turn number 2. We always show this show that slight defensive kink to the inside at turn 2, but obviously Gasly never gets close enough here. But we make our way around the final corner. It is all aboard the Victor Martin train as we apply the power and head down towards turn number 1. 3 to go for our Grand Prix here in Budapest. And towards turn 1 we go defense to the inside line. Gasly looking around the outside line, further behind. I think that was Lando Norris diving on the inside of Carlos Sainz, which he does. He does make the move, but he will continue to fight this one towards turn number 2 here. Around the outside, I think he's going to try it. We apply the power. We are fully clear of Gasly. We are able to hold on to this position here. And yeah, you can see Lando Norris has made that move here. As we go through turn number 4, we're quite good through this little section of the track. We're good at pulling some time here, but it's the rest of the lap, really, where we do struggle all the while here. But we make our way through the chicane once again, late deep on the brakes, but Norris, look at the gap. Norris has got past the pair of them. Here we go. Lando Norris with a dive bomb on the inside at turn number 1. Norris past Carlos Sainz, but then on the traction, the mediums will favour the Spaniard here. But as we go in towards turn number 2, all the way around the outside, Carlos Sainz is going to try this one. Lando Norris on the inside, and side by side they run. Lando Norris was a brilliant manoeuvre on his best mate in Formula 1, and now next up is Gasly. Next up is Gasly for the French, for the world champion here. Gasly in the French Alpine under pressure, side by side. Lando Norris, 2 phenomenal moves here in Budapest. And we can go now back to the penultimate lap of this race. We're now going to be doing battle with Norris. And the first time we got a defender move that's been happen on the inside. Around the outside, we will defend this one as the traction then go and gets applied. Lando Norris gets through, but then towards turn number 2, Lando Norris squeezing us again. And for the 3rd race weekend running, there's contact between ourselves and Norris. We apply the boost to try and keep up as we go run turn number 3, and the rear just gives out. Applying the boost and applying the power, the rear just completely slides away, and any hope of points are dashed here in Budapest. And we look at a replay here. It was actually quite a fun battle here. We go deep on the brakes. Norris actually does back out of it initially, but then just us running wide opens that door to the world champion. As we go towards turn number 2, we go on the inside line there. Lando Norris turns a little bit, but I mean, it's completely fair. We wasn't alongside him. So we go through turn 3. Just the rear, you just hear it, like just the rear, just like the tyres screech as the grip is gone. And then Gasly there, actually, you see Gasly kind of panics, seeing our car half spun, but then just lost the place to Lawson. Side by side between Gasly and Alonso into turn number 1. But around the final corner towards the line, you see on the minimap in the bottom left-hand side, Kimi Antonelli has taken the race win here, beaten his experienced teammate to the flag. Kimi wins from George Russell, and then the drivers and constructors as well. That is an absolutely ginormous result here. We're trying to put pressure on Alonso. We lock up both fronts, and that's probably going to be our settling then for P13 in a race what really could have been here, and just so frustrating to have this stuff happen to us as we head around the final corner here out of frustration. I kind of just jinked the car out of frustration here, and then the rig kind of snaps out and the car kind of wallops into the wall. Luckily, we did take the flag, so we did finish the Grand Prix, but again, it's just frustrating that happened, and well, let's just roll on the celebrations in Budapest for the podium.
This has been absolutely magnificent. Victory today for Andrea Kimi Antonelli.
Wow, that race really kept us on our toes with the ever-changing weather conditions. It is so unpredictable when you're in the car, with visibility being limited to know exactly what's going on. So the driver really made some great calls in this situation.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved watching that action today, and I'm sure these 3 have loved taking part. Here come our podium finishers. A young man with a big future, today's a winner. Well done, Kimi Antonelli. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, There's your running order then, isn't it? Antonelli wins from George Russell. Then it's Hamilton in P3 from Charles Leclerc in P4. Then it's Hadjar. Verstappen in P6. Oscar Piastri gets P7 with a brilliant drive from 15th on the grid. Norris gets P8. Then it's Carlos Sainz for Williams in P9. Liam Lawson gets a point, another point for RB, so not too shabby. Then it's Gasly, Alonso, ourselves, and then Ollie Behrman, Hulkenberg, Gabriele Mini again, our AI teammate, doing a great job from 24th to get P16 in the race here. And then it's Colapinto, Albon, Lindblad, Ocon, Bottas for the Cadillac, which from 17th and 21st to 22nd isn't too bad for Cadillac. Then there's Perez, Bortoletto and Stroll. The drivers then, that gap out in front is cut down to 26. It is game on again for the World Championship. They all gain on Norris. Kimi, Piastri, Russell, they all gain. They all gain on him. And it's Russell in 4th, and it's Leclerc, Hamilton, Verstappen, Hadjar, Mini, Martins. Sainz gets some more points on the boards for the Williams team, and then it's Alexander Albon, Gasly, Liam Lawson, Colapinto, Lindblad, Hulkenberg, and then the drivers still yet to score: Perez, Alonso, Bortoletto, Bottas, Behrman, Ocon, and Stroll. In terms of the constructors, then it is McLaren leading the way, but that gap is cut down massively. 29 points the gap is now ahead of Mercedes. Then it's Ferrari in 3rd, who get a 117-point lead over Red Bull. Then we remain in 5th position with still a healthy lead over Williams Racing in 6th. And it's Alpine, Racing Bulls, Audi still has that singular point from Hulkenberg. Then Cadillac, Aston, and Haas are still the 3 teams still yet to score in this season. Nonetheless, if you did enjoy today's episode of the My Team series, consider liking and subscribing. We have the Dutch Grand Prix after the summer break up next. Thank you all for tuning in, and the support has been very, very amazing. I can't thank you all enough. But from me, ciao adios, I'll see you for the next one. Bye!